News about Putin now. Is it possible to restore relations between Russia and the EU after Putin? With Putin's decision, Russia has entered a difficult path for the successor to turn back. A year after Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, debate continues over whether this was President Vladimir Putin's war. Anti-war Russians, many of whom have fled abroad, criticize the Russian president. For them, his delusions and paranoia have turned to neo-totalitarianism at home and military aggression abroad. The Russian opposition in exile and in prison insists that if Putin is to fall from power, the situation would reverse. Leonid Volkov, the number 2 of imprisoned opposition leader Alexei Navalny, has even suggested that following the end of the war, the West should offer a Marshall Plan, not only for Ukraine, in dire need of reconstruction, but also for Russia. In other words, opposition-minded Russians hope that Moscow will rebuild bridges with Europe and the US once Putin is no longer on the throne. Understandably, the notion of Putin's war has next to no purchase in Ukraine itself. By and large, Ukrainians fault Russia as a country and as a society, whether it is the jingoistic cheerleaders for Moscow's special military operation, or the silent majority who choose to simply ignore it and get on with their daily lives. They ask why Russia should one day act differently when Putin speaks for a country with an imperialist mindset. It is no different from the current residents of the Kremlin. Some of the names experts speculate are at least as militant as Putin, such as Nikolai Patrushev, chairman of the Russian Security Council. So, for Ukrainians, Russia must be defeated no matter who takes home in Moscow. But what about the European Union? Has the war pushed the relationship with Russia that has been so dearly forged for so long to the point of no return? Most of them are in Poland and the Baltic states. For a year now, they've had their "I told you so" moments. Even before the Russian invasion last year and the occupation of Crimea in 2014, they argued that the Russian counter-offensive was a fundamental threat to the post-Cold War European order. The approach to relations with Russia is ambiguous. French President Emmanuel Macron, who took office in 2017, has insisted that Europe think long-term and engage with Russia. Macron stuck with that line almost until the invasion and kept calling Putin to find some sort of diplomatic solution. And most recently, last December, the French president spoke of Russian security guarantees that should be part of the agreement. Germany has caused more frustration and resentment among Ukraine's Eastern European friends. His reputation was tarnished by years of affair with Russians in business and political adventures such as the Nord Stream gas pipeline. The German political class has long regarded Russia as a friend, and some of them, such as former Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder, have secured lucrative contracts with Moscow's state-owned energy company.